Well, don't we have a lot to talk about today? Hi everyone, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, you know what fucking time it is, bitch! It's time for the Daily Scream! If you weren't aware, and I don't know how you couldn't be, Charlie Kirk was shot and killed yesterday at Utah Valley University. And before I dive into my thoughts about this entire situation, I feel like it's only fair to be transparent with all of you, like I usually am. So no, I'm not about to sit here and pretend like I feel any sort of empathy for Charlie Kirk when I have none to give. I have no empathy for him, his rhetoric, nor the harm he has personally caused. People are currently crying that his murder was an abomination, and they're also asking, what about his children? I don't condone murder, and I don't think any child should have to experience losing a parent to such a violent death. But where was that energy when children in Palestine were, and still are, being slaughtered and starved to death? Or when immigrant children are being torn from their parents by ICE? If you only care when it's your political parties or your side's children being affected by violence, then that isn't compassion, that's hypocrisy. In terms of political violence is real and a growing issue in this country. But to place all of that blame on the radical left is beyond hypocritical. Democratic State Rep Melissa Hortman and her husband were assassinated by a Trump supporter. The man who targeted and committed arson against Democratic Governor Josh Shapiro's home was a Trump supporter. The men calling to hang Mike Pence during the Capitol riot were Trump supporters. The man who tried to kidnap Nancy Pelosi and assaulted her husband was a Trump supporter. The man who sent pipe bombs to the homes of Barack Obama and Joe Biden was a Trump supporter. The list goes on. Yet we are all being told that Charlie Kirk's death is the one we have to mourn. And now far-right influencers are calling Charlie Kirk's death a declaration of war. They are quite literally pushing civil war rhetoric. Violence isn't a bug, it's a brand. And that's exactly what Charlie Kirk and MAGA have built their platforms off of. Meanwhile, yesterday in Evergreen, Colorado, a 16-year-old opened fire at a high school. 2 students were shot, 1 is in critical condition, and Kirk once said that gun deaths are an acceptable cost if we want to preserve the Second Amendment. Among other things, he called abortion murder and compared it to Auschwitz. He also said if his 10-year-old daughter was raped, she'd still have to carry the baby. He called trans people a throbbing middle finger to God and an abomination, as well as dead-naming athletes. He continuously denied white privilege, minimized Martin Luther King's legacy, and called George Floyd a scumbag. He pushed for the Great Replacement Theory, which falsely claims that there is a deliberate plot to replace white populations in Western countries with immigrants and people of color. He demonized Muslims in politics. He continuously defended Israel while Palestinian children died. But he's also said several anti-Semitic things, including Jewish people control Hollywood and they also control all the nonprofits. And let's not ignore the timing of all of this. His death hit headlines the same week new Epstein files dropped. A scrapbook showing Trump allegedly gifting Epstein $22,500 for a girl. Trump's name in Epstein's birthday album. But instead of talking about that, the story is all Charlie Kirk. And now we have Trump using divisive language yet again, not actually honoring Kirk, but using his death to drive a wedge between Americans. He openly blamed the so-called radical left for his death. Does that not raise alarms for some of you? At the end of the day, we are all American, and the real issue here is the divisive nature that this current administration thrives on. So no, I am not going to sit here and celebrate Charlie Kirk's death, but I'm also not about to sit here and fake empathy for a man who excused school shootings, demonized trans people as well as the LGBTQ+ community, vilified immigrants, defended genocide, and preached hate policy. And again, I feel horrible for his children, but if his children matter, then all children matter. Children in Gaza, children in ICE detention, children who fear going to school every day because they're scared they're going to be shot. And at the end of the day, this could have all been avoided if we had common sense gun laws in America. But I'm not going to sit here and mourn somebody who wouldn't think twice and would probably celebrate if I died.